Christian Miller, two-time national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with the New York Giants, and University of South Carolina Hall of Famer. This is the Miller's Edge.
And welcome into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Not only is it a Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, it's a official fall camp edition of the Miller's Edge right here at Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Hope you guys are doing well, man. I'm doing great. In case anybody was wondering, I just got back from being up there at practice. Definitely, it's a little hot, but I'll say this, Chase, for a first day, definitely wasn't too bad. The heat's not too bad. It got a nice little breeze out there. It's not cool by any means, but definitely a solid day out there. But in terms of what was going on, man, a lot of good action, man. First day, of course, kind of like I explained yesterday, man. It's no pads, no pads, right? Just helmets. Guys getting after it. A lot of technique-based things, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of indie drills. We'll dive into some of that stuff, some of my observations. Again, it was open to the media initially, so there's plenty of video that we'll put on the screen and let you guys watch as we talk. I stayed out there till about 10:40 or so they started around 9:05, I believe. They're probably wrapping up now, and what that means is you will have media availability post-practice. So what we're going to do is we'll discuss practice today, but also we'll hear, I think Kalen DeBoer will be speaking to the media. Not sure if any players are lined up to speak. We'll see and figure that out here in a minute. But we will hear from head coach Kalen DeBoer. So we'll play that for you guys. That way we can always listen and react to that. But I definitely will, for at least the first segment or so, kind of recap, kind of just my quick observations. And again, I mean, we're not going to be able to dive into anything crazy just because, again, it's day one, right? I mean, there's not really a whole bunch to really talk about, other than just some basic observations. And I've got a couple, man. I know you guys asked me to look at a couple of things. So I'll try to recap what I got from that. And obviously we'll throw these clips on here, and if something catches your eye, we'll definitely talk about it. But we'll do that here on the next segment coming up. But let me remind you about our friends over at the Good Feet Store before we dive into the action. America's Arch Support Experts. Try before you buy. Nothing to lose. If you're in the market for something that's going to help you eliminate and alleviate that pain that you're dealing with, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you name it, you got to check out the Good Feet Store. Right now, Midtown Village is where you can find them. Walk-ins are welcome. You don't need an appointment, but if you do want to schedule an appointment, you like being punctual, you can do that on their website, goodfeet.com. But I'm telling you guys, check them out if you haven't already. These are not your basic orthotics. These things are designed to eliminate and alleviate that pain. You can see them right here on the stream right now, goodfeet.com, and you can find out more information. But I urge you, go in the store, just test them out, right? They'll let you try them out, they'll get you fitted, they'll show you your arches and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys check them out. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. There's probably a couple other things that we'll dive into, but first and foremost, man, you obviously got fall camp, kicking off today. So that's going to be the main focus. And again, Kalen DeBoer will be speaking to the media probably about 10, maybe 15 minutes or so. So once we get coverage of that, we'll definitely we'll play that for you. But what we're going to do real quick is we're going to hit our first timeout. That way, when we come back, we're going to really dive into the action. I'll give you my observations from being out there. Again, media availability was out there, so there's plenty of videos. I got some playing on the screen right now. So if you guys want to watch the show, right, check us out on YouTube at The Miller's Edge. We are streaming live. Also on Facebook. You can find us there as well on the Tide 100.9 page, because when we come back, we're breaking down day one of Alabama football's training camp again, hitting the field. They're rocking and rolling. It's an exciting time. Football is officially back. I guess, well, officially back would be when we take the field against Florida State, but close enough. We'll talk about it when we come back right here, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. What's up, guys? Jakenji, Mike, Justin, Arthur, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon. Mike said, we made it. Happy football season. Now, why is Lawson wearing a brace? Remember, he had the knee injury at the end of last season, Mike. So he's been recovering from that. And as I'm sure you're probably aware, man. I mean, no, it's a lengthy process to come back from that. Matter of fact, I mean, you see, who's that Marshall right there, 18? He's got his knee brace on too. And Deontay's not 100% just yet. I mean, he was working today, but he's not 100%. So that's why he's wearing his brace. Tony, what's up, man? Roll Tide. But he did get in on some of the drills, I believe. But obviously, he's going to be limited as he's working through stuff, which he had said that at media days, I believe. So no breaking news there or anything. But the expectation is that he'll be back full strength, hopefully by game 1. But when we say full strength, that obviously means, he's definitely, fully cleared to be out there. But it's them tight ends, they need to work on their hands, boy. Definitely going to take some time to probably get that confidence back, right? Kind of get back in his groove, but he'll be good. See some of these running backs getting some work in. I'll tell you one thing, though, man. I was watching this one play. Keelan Russell was scrambling, and that dude is fast, man. He's got some wheels on him. You can see he looks a little bit more filled out too. Obviously, I mean, again, he's got more of a slender frame, so he's not going to look huge. But I think he put on like 19 pounds. Definitely could see a difference there. I'll be honest with you guys. You guys know me. I'm a defensive guy, specifically edge guy, man. I spent a lot of time with the D line. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. Which, to be fair, you guys did want me to. There you go, right there. You can see Deontay getting some work. Ricky, what's up? Oh, you were just about to ask me. Yeah, he was. Again, they were just doing some team stuff later on, like after the media period. But I just saw him take off, and I was like, damn, he really was moving. Yeah, no, he can run though. You want to hear something funny, guys? So this guy that just walked past the screen, his name's Austin. He actually was my teammate with the Panthers. He played outside linebacker with me too. He wore 96. And it's a small world, man. He was playing with me with the Panthers. And then I think he got hired as a part of the strength and conditioning staff last season. But you talk about a hard worker, man. That dude busted
7780.
But nice that they have another guy,
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Henry, what's going on, man? Roll Tide. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope you guys are doing great. I know you guys are doing great. Football's back, just like Mike said in the chat, man. He said we made it. We're back. And we are, man. Alabama officially taking the field, the practice field, I should say, for the first time in quite some time. Now, it does feel like it flew by, but it's been a few months. But I just left from up there. Definitely, a little hot out there, but not too bad. Good first day, man. Good first day. But in terms of observations, let's go ahead and dive into it. Again, we got some practice highlights playing on the screen. Shout out to, this is from, I think, Bama Online. So I didn't record this, by the way. This is from Bama Online. But we're just letting it run. That way you guys can watch as we discuss some things. I was saying during the break, man, Keelan Russell, you definitely can see. I think he put on like 19 pounds. His stature looks a little more filled out, right? More of a slender frame. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to show up looking like Milroe after putting on 20 pounds. But as you guys can see here, as he takes a snap, definitely filling out some. And he looked really good. I was saying, too, I mean, that weight didn't slow him down either. There was a moment where he taken off, scrambling during it. They're doing some team stuff, but took off. And, I mean, his speed was on display. Now, obviously, you're watching his high school tape, you knew that he had that athleticism. But I'll be honest, I was impressed. I was like, man, I knew he could run. I knew he was fast, but seeing him in person today do it, he definitely was moving, had some wheels to him. I spent a lot of time on the defensive line, right? I'll just be completely honest with you guys. I spent a lot of time on the defensive line. So I want to start there, right? Looking at that group, man, they got a number of guys, man. Number of guys that impress you. I mean, even just like from a physical standpoint. Matter of fact, sure enough, first guy up, I think that's Steve, and I always get his last name wrong, but he's from Canada. Number one, I did not know Chase. This guy has like a legit like French accent. It really threw me off. He started talking to Roach, and I was like, hold on, am I hearing this right? But he's definitely a French dude. But anyway, you just see like his stature, and I talked about him the other day. You know, he's definitely a raw player. You know, he's going to be a developmental guy. I don't even think he's been playing football that long, but he's one of the guys that intrigues me. That if you can kind of get him to come along, you know what I mean, and it might take some time, but physically, man, he's got a lot of tools to work with. But, you know, Tim Keenan kind of leading the charge. Obviously, you know what you're getting out of Tim. You can see in the background here, my old roommate and coach, right? Coach Mosley's working with the Bandits. One guy really impressive out of that room. I've been talking about him a lot. But he just, you know, his movements again, and, you know, it's day one of practice. I'm not going to sit there and have all these, you know, crazy things for you guys, but just off of my eyes, right off the eye test, just seeing these guys working some indie drills, man. Jordan Renaud is really impressive. The way he moves, you know what I mean? Like, I think he came in around like 245. He's put on weight, and I think he's in that 265 range, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing about him is, even though he's added that extra weight, it's good weight. It's muscle weight, and he moves extremely well. I think he's a guy that obviously LT Overton, you know, is the key piece at Bandit. But to me, I know you bring in Kelby Collins, but to me, Jordan Renaud is going to get a lot of opportunities. You saw last year they gave him a number of opportunities. They kept trying to get him on the field, and I think that's only going to go up, especially on those passing downs and passing situations. To me, if I could come up with, you know, a group that I want to send out there to go get, he's going to be one of those guys. I let him work from the inside, and I think he'll be really effective from there. But really was impressed with him again. You know, LT, Tim, you know what you're getting out of those guys. In terms of the Wolf position, sorry if I'm jumping around. I'm just kind of thinking as a number of things keep coming up. Justin Hill, the freshman, right? He was really impressive in drills. Explosive, powerful. Matter of fact, there's a couple times that Coach C-Rob, you know, used, you know, his rep as an example, basically saying like, you know, that's how it's supposed to be done, you know. And I mentioned this, just seeing him, he's, when I say polished, I just mean he's not as raw as some of these younger guys that come in here. You can tell that he has a really good technique in terms of just his natural ability. I mean, he's got what you're looking for, outside linebacker. I mean, he's 6'4", I believe, around that range, and he's put on some weight. He's filled out, but even with him filling out, man, he is not any less explosive. He flies off the football, has strong hands. I think he's going to end up growing into a really good football player here. I really do. But leading the charge, you had Quay Rousseau. And Quay is every bit of what I just talked about with Justin, a little bit shorter in terms of his stature and his frame. But in terms of his explosiveness, I mean, you see it immediately when you watch him go through drills. We heard Deontay Lawson talk about Quay Rousseau and just how impressive his numbers were in terms of like top speed and stuff like that. And you really see that flash in these drills, right? And he just flies off the football. Same thing, you know, with Justin, you know, really physical punch. And I'm expecting a lot of big things from Quay Rousseau, right? I think he's going to take a big step this year, and I think he's going to be a very productive player. I know a lot of people keep asking about who's going to be that guy coming off the edge in terms of pass rush. I fully believe he's going to grow into that role and do a damn good job at it too. But in terms of his counterpart, who I'm looking for, I'm trying to see who's going to step up. I know you got Latham, who's moved from Bandit to Wolf. But you can tell, right? Latham in that room is definitely more of he's going to be first, second down type of guy, heavy edge setter, you know, provide that physical presence. And that's all right. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you need guys like that. But in terms of his explosiveness and, you know, quick twitch ability compared to the other guys, you can tell that, you know, he's a former Bandit. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be as elusive as the other guys. So I feel like his role in this defense definitely feels more like, you know, first, second down, run stopping type of a guy. Quay Rousseau is arguably the most complete in that room. His ability to stop the run. Hell, we saw his ability to drop in coverage. He had a couple of interceptions last year, and he clearly can get after the quarterback. But then that next guy stepping in, I mean, you've got some other faces in there, like, Noah Carter. I mentioned Justin Hill. I'm drawing a blank. I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but there's definitely some potential in there. But you need somebody to step up alongside Quay Russaw, and we'll see who that is. That hopefully will be answered this fall. Right here, you definitely saw these tight ends struggling a little bit with their hands, but hey, it's day one of camp. Everybody kind of getting their groove. Quarterbacks look good. I feel like all three of the quarterbacks look good, slinging it around. Again, I mean, there's not too much you can really go off of. But same kind of deal was what we thought. Ty kind of leading the charge in first place in terms of that quarterback battle right now. But going to be exciting to see how all of that progresses moving forward. The running backs look solid. I think you got a good group of running backs. Again, you can see them working right here. Speaking of them, Jam Miller leading the bunch. You got Richard Young back there. You still got A.K. Deere, Daniel Hill, a number of guys in that backfield. And I think they should have more opportunities. I think Grubb coming back is going to give them a lot more opportunities this upcoming season. Hopefully running the football a little bit more of a consistent running game, which I've been saying for a while now. That's going to be my main key for this offense, starting things off, running the football. And we'll see if they can do that, which I think they will. And they got a number of guys that should get some reps. And as you can see right here, Daniel Hill, he's a big dude, man. A physical back. I mean, he's like 235, moves well. See him high stepping over that bag right there. Good athleticism for a guy his size. So really good stuff there. Receiver room, we kind of know what we're getting out of them. Just really impressed by the depth that they have. Not going to spend too much time on them just because you just know. I mean, those guys, you got a lot of talent in there, a lot of good depth. So I'll try to pay more attention to them next time, but just kind of knew what to expect. I am curious to see how this depth plays out, this linebacker spot. Justin Jefferson, Deontay Lawson, obviously top two guys. You bring in Hill Green, who's a vet, has played a lot of college football, been at a number of places, made a number of stops. Definitely more of a physical type guy, but I'm curious to see, what he brings to the table. I mean, I think you'd expect kind of a three-man group, right? Three-man rotation, especially with Deontay kind of coming back off of that injury. But you obviously still need depth, right? I mean, health is, something that is, number one, is really important, but injuries come up. Who are some of these younger guys that might need to be called upon? We had Bray Hubbard on the show. He talked about that, always being ready. So I am going to be looking out for that in terms of kind of the depth at that inside linebacker spot. I think that could end up being important down the stretch. What else? Did I miss anything, Chase? I feel like the only thing we didn't talk about would have been the DBs and the offensive line. Yeah, we didn't talk about either of those. Offensive line looks solid. Again, I mean, day one, no pads. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and try to make stuff. I know a lot of people sometimes use all these words and stuff. Like, it's not a whole bunch you can tell off of it. Guys look to be in solid shape, though. I feel like there's a lot of continuity coming back with that group, with Brailsford at center, then Jaden Roberts at guard, and Proctor at tackle. That unit just feels, how do you explain it? Almost like there's just like a sense of like more confidence there. There's leadership there. You know what I mean? Like, people have a better understanding. And really, I would note that I noticed that as a whole, throughout the practice, and I mentioned this, one of my expectations was that guys are obviously more bought in. They have a better understanding of their roles and expectations. I definitely got that sense from being out there at practice. The intensity was high. People just, last year, comparing this training camp, day one to last year, obviously last year felt almost, you could sense the feeling out process, which is totally expected and understandable. This time around, you could tell it was more like, we know what to do. It's, it's time to get to work, right? I mean, it didn't feel like, all right, who should be where do we need to go now? Everybody was rolling quick, getting in and out of drills, getting after it. You know what I mean? You could sense that. And then last but not least, you see the secondary guys right here. Really, I mean, you've got so much depth in that room. I mean, that, to me, that's probably going to be the strong suit of this team, at least on defense. You talk about how talented that group is, the versatility you have there, the number of guys that can go and contribute now. It's not necessarily, last year was more of a, well, we got to see, how this guy develops. We got young guys we're relying on. We'll see how quick they can kind of, get up to speed. This year, it's almost like, we know what we got. These guys know what is expected. Kind of who's going to end up filling out some of those spots and who's going to be those guys that are like, next one's in. typically in a lot of systems you don't have this, but here there's so much, I guess, you rotate the secondary so much, at least that's what we saw last year. A number of guys are going to be expected to play. And so it's kind of just figuring out where guys fit in. But definitely there's some good length in that room. I mean, the corners are all, between Damani and Xavier, they're both 6'1", at least, maybe pushing 6'2". You look at guys in this safety room, right? I mean, Bray like 6'1", Keon Sabb 6'1" and some change. I mean, you got a lot of good length in that room, a lot of good athleticism, some good physicality there, and I'm excited to watch that room. And speaking of that room, Greg McElroy was talking on his show earlier about the defensive back room and how he believes they could end up being one of the top, not even one of the top, the top room in the country. So we'll dive into a little bit more of that talk. But I would say overall, first day impressions after being out there, man, number one, just excited to be back, in the swing of things, having football back. Always nice catching up with everybody. Got to talk with Coach DeBoer and Coach Womack. They had a little break, just like we used to do. It's hot outside. You got to take a minute to cool down. They got like the trailers, like I was telling you guys about. It's like a big human freezer. You go get in to kind of cool your body down. But got to chat with Coach DeBoer and Coach Womack real quick while they had that break. But they're getting after it, man. Everybody's getting after it. But I'm excited, man. Defensively, just looking at kind of some of the stuff they're just walking through. Even I know it's just walk through stuff, but I think year two, there's a lot to look forward to. And then with me being a defensive guy, I was really locked in on that. Just kind of seeing some of the stuff that they're working through in walkthroughs. I'm excited. I think they have a better understanding of their personnel, what guys do best and what works, what might not be best. And to be fair, that's totally normal. And I think there's a lot of big stuff planned, but that's kind of my overall impressions. I know I was very long-winded. I kind of just talked and rambled for 12 minutes, but wanted to get that out the way because I know you guys are really eager, my thoughts on day one. That being said, if you guys have any questions, number one, if you're on our live stream, drop it in the chat. I'll be glad to answer it. I was trying to read some of it while I was talking, but I didn't want to multitask and get tripped up. But we're about to hit a timeout. So while we do that, get your questions ready. If you guys have any questions for me being out there or whatever question, hit me up here in the chat. I'll read it live on there, discuss it. Plus, you guys can always get in on the conversation, 205-342-9904. Call in on the phone line so we can discuss it. We can talk about it. We'd love to do that with you guys as well. Right here on the Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sports Expert. We're not done. We're not going anywhere. I just finished my quick little recap. But now we're going to discuss it even more, but with you guys on the other side of this break. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
.365 24/7. You'll find
all right, let me see what we got. Yeah, so we got Kalen DeBoer will be speaking to the media today. So we'll play that here in a little bit. Other thing was let me put another practice clip on here. I think there's another one from what's it called? Touchdown Alabama. So just different angles. That way you guys got something to watch while I ramble. Who's that, Brooks? Yeah, that dude. Dude's got some juice, man. I'm excited to watch him grow and develop. He's going to be a good player. Yeah, Henry, I agree, man. I think it is going to be a better season. I think we're going to build off a lot of stuff we did last year. I think we'll learn from some of the mistakes we had last year, and I think it's taking shape to be a good year. I really do. Not easy by any stretch, but I think we'll definitely see a lot of improvement. Yes, sir, Arthur. If you guys have it, man, drop a like, man. If you guys are in here, it takes 2 seconds, man. Just like the video. That just helps us out, man. Helps out the algorithm. And share the video. If you guys got anybody else, man, any other Bama fans, anybody that's interested in this type of content, man, share it. Ellis, you said Ellis has been getting ready to run that drill, man. I told you, Ellis, if you run the drill, man, I'm running it with you, brother. I got my cleats ready, man. Hell, I'll bring my helmet up there too. I'll rock my helmet with you. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Keelan Russell, man, he looks like he's taking some strides over the summer. I know it's really early to say that, but just you can always just sense, right? Like, he was a little puppy when he got here a few months ago, right? Just coming out of high school. He's got a spring under his belt. Had the summer summer program, bunch of 7-on-7s. He looked good out there. I'm not going to lie to you. He looked good. Definitely always, going to stick to what I said, right? I think, Ty's your guy right now, just like Coach has said. I mean, we already know that. But there's no denying, man, Keelan Russell is a very talented freshman. And whenever he gets his opportunity, I think he's going to be an extremely, extremely really good football player for us. And obviously, I think highly of him. I just repeated. That was very redundant. Extremely, really good, highly good football player. I don't even know what I just said. Sorry. What else we got? We're about to come back here, guys. You still don't feel good about the edge guys? No, I wouldn't say I don't feel good about them. No, I definitely. Quay Russo, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to see. I know we always talk about his explosiveness and athleticism. I just wanted to kind of get a refresher on it. Right, it's been some time since I've seen him work. He looked really good today. I just need some other guys to step up because you got to be able to rotate that spot. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Football's back. We're officially back in the swing of things. Practice 1 officially has concluded. It's in the books, meaning Coach DeBoer is probably speaking to the media right now or about to, which means we will pod that up and play that for you guys here in a minute. But until then, we're going to continue kind of recapping some things. I gave you my very long-winded, sorry about that, recap of just all my initial observations. Again, I mean, only so much I can really go off of. I mean, it's day one, no pads, nothing like that. Plus, with me, being fortunate to watch practice, like actually watch it. I mean, as like a former player, I mean, I'm able to be out there. Plus, I work with the network, right? So, I don't. You guys know how I do. I don't share too much, right? Where it's like invasive, but I'll comment on especially anything that's shown during the media period, like where everybody's out here recording stuff. I have no problem commenting on any of that stuff. But once I get in the team periods, when I'm still out there and the media is gone, I try to limit what I'm talking about out of respect for the building. But anyway, that being said, let's look at some of the comments from you guys. Get y'all's questions and concerns and stuff like that. I know Ricky asked a second ago. He asked if I'm still having some concerns with the wolf spot, like the edge spot. And the answer is it's not necessarily concerns. What it is you got to have fresh legs. You got to have guys that can go, right? And to me, like Quay Russo, he checks all the boxes. Like, I mean, he's got receipts. He's an all-around outside linebacker. I mean, he can stop the run. He's physical not only can he stop it, he's physical against the run, right? You can see the outside linebackers working right here. They're working on a long arm drill right here with Coach Robinson. And hopefully they show Justin Hill because he had some good reps here. You can see right there Latham getting to it. But my thing is when you look at this group, Yonte Pierre is who I was missing. I knew I was missing one guy. But just seeing Justin work, you see his rep versus Latham right there. It's his feet don't stop. You see him getting out, and you see the difference right there. Great example right there. I'll run that back. Speaking of the wolf spot, you watch Quay Russo. Look at that explosiveness. I mean, that's teach tape. Great pad level. He comes out the ball low, right? You see he's playing, low to high. I mean, that's teach tape, right? Chopping over, swimming over the release. Great rep, right? Like look at his lower body right there, man. I mean, that's a powerful position to be in. That's why, and granted, this guy that he's working with, the poor equipment guy, man. I mean, he's getting thrown like a rag doll. But anyway, great rep. You see the explosiveness. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, flying off the football, powerful, great rep, right? Him, I'm all. If you had 3 of him, I mean, I would say you got the best group in the country, damn near. Problem is, you see that rep, and then you got Yonze right here. It's a good rep. That's a solid rep. I just feel like where Yonze's at right now. I mean, I know he's got the tools. I think he's still putting it together. And I'm just going off of you're talking about. We want guys that want to know who's going to be ready to go out there and compete now, right? I think he's getting close. He's getting close. But you guys kind of sense the difference between those two reps right there. Here's Noah Carter. Not a bad rep. He was getting a lot of corrections from Coach C-Rob during this Indy period. As you can see right there, he's going over it with him. But anyway, yeah, that's what I would say about that Wolf spot. It's not that I have concerns. It's just I know from experience. I mean, hell, that literally is my position. This group you've got right here, it's just you got one guy who's kind of does it all, checked every box in Quay Russaw. Then you got Latham, who's going to be your heavy-handed run-stopping guy, which is good. You need that, right, especially situationally. But then you have a group of younger guys after that. To me, I'm like, so who's next? And then there's just question marks. Like Yanze Pierre, he got some snaps last year. He flashed some potential, but he hadn't necessarily put it all together yet. Which again, he's still young. He's still learning and developing, right? I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying for where we're at right now, I wouldn't say, you know what I mean, like he's fully there just yet. But he's getting there, and he's got plenty of time. This is what fall camp is for. I think he'll probably end up being that guy initially, at least. But then these two young gentlemen right here that are getting this work, to me, I know Noah Carter's got a year ahead of Justin Hill, but I would probably say Justin Hill probably ends up passing him up. That's just my observations. Going off of what I've seen from Justin, man. Justin's going to be a really good player, man. He's got a lot of those tools to work with. Matter of fact, I'm trying to pull him back up where he did his rep. But I was really impressed with Justin Hill, just watching him move, because he's not small by any means. I mean, you can see him right here. I mean, he's filled out. He doesn't look like he just got here. I mean, he honestly, physically, might be one of the most impressive guys in that room in terms of height, his length. But now that he's filled out, man, and then you talk about the explosiveness, his ability to really just, move around. And he's shown, right, even they didn't show it in this drill, but they're doing like what we used to call a dip, rake drill. It's where you dip, then you finish on the quarterback. It's a bag. But basically, we'll just call it a dip drill, right? We'll keep it simple, where you bend in the corner and going through whether it's a cone or a bag. But he was going through that drill, and he arguably did it again. Him and Russaw, they just flash, right? You can just see it. They've got that. So those two guys. I mean, Yanze Pierre, then obviously Latham, he offers something a little bit different. I think it's a solid room, but I still want to see somebody step up opposite of Quay to kind of really bring that juice off the edge. Let's see what else we got. Cutie says, Christian, it's like we don't have a home run threat at running back, though. I mean, someone could take it the distance whenever they touch the ball, like a Trayvon Henderson was at Ohio State last year. I mean, I'll be honest, man. I mean, to me, Jam is a really good running back. I feel like some people are sleeping on him a little bit, but I mean, he's got the ability. Would I call him a Henderson type player? I don't know, but I think he's a really good option at running back. Hell, I think Richard Young could come along. I know Daniel Hill they're really excited about, right? Hell, we'll see what young guy like AK Deer brings as he gets some more reps. I'm telling you guys, Kevin Riley's got some juice. He definitely has some juice, and he's a different type of running back. The guy from the transfer that we brought in at running back, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see too much of him. And I didn't even really, I guess, I hate to say it like this, I didn't really notice him too much during the spring, so I'm not going to act like I know a whole bunch about him, but I will try to look out for him. But I'll be honest with you, QD, I don't think you have to have a Heisman type running back to be a successful explosive offense. I think honestly, I mean, when you have strength by numbers at the running back position, sometimes that's not necessarily better, but if you had to choose between like one really good running back, then the rest of the guys are just okay, versus a stable or a group that are maybe none of them are really truly elite, but they're really good. I would probably take that group, because then you got fresh legs and fresh bodies coming in there, and they both, you can rely on those guys to make plays. You're not feeling like you got to have that one guy in there to make a play, right? And I think this group, I think they all have got plenty of what you need to have a successful and consistent running game, personally. Now, to be determined, we'll see more of that as it goes on, but I'm fine with our running back room. I'll be honest with you. I'm not concerned. I agree with you. They might not be elite right now, at least on paper from what we've seen, but I think Jam and those guys should be just fine. I'm not too worried about that group. I think Jam really does have a lot of potential, honestly, and as well as a number of other guys. My dad's in here. He said chapstick hour yet. There he goes. Why don't you hop in, man? Hop in and talk about it? You heard me give my thoughts, man. I know you weren't out there, but we'll see. My dad jumps on here, man. People have been asking about you. They want to hear your thoughts, man. So hop on here if you want. Let's see what else do we have in here. But QD followed up. He said Richard Young was walked down from behind the Mizzou. I mean, you know who else used to get walked down all the time? Shout out to my old my co-captain Damian Harris. But low key, I mean, we used to joke with Damian. He used to get walked down. Hell, he was really good. We won a lot of football games with him being running back one. That's what I'm saying, QD. I think the guys that we got, you got plenty of juice there. I mean, I don't care about stars, but if you look at the star power in that room, I mean, Richard Young, AK, those are 2 5-star guys. I don't know what Jam was, but I'm just saying, I mean, I think if you asked anybody else at any other program, like about a running back room, they would gladly probably trade for it. So I think we'll be all right. I think, look, let those guys get more opportunities. I mean, we know last year's offense definitely they lean more into, not fully into, I mean, we ran the football, but obviously when you got a quarterback with the ability of Jalen Milroe, and rightfully so, you should do this. You'd be a fool not to do this. You got to take advantage of it. If he's one of your best options to move the football down the field on the ground, he's going to get his number called. This year, obviously, you'll probably see more of a traditional role out of quarterback. Still will see some, some zone read type stuff, but you get what I'm saying. There will be more traditional running game. I think those increased opportunities and reps will really showcase what those guys can do. But great point, though. Great point. Did Coach Grubb look focused? Yeah, no, he's locked in. All the coaches were locked in. I mean, everybody's locked in. I mean, day one, man, everybody's juiced up and ready to go. You find out a lot about yourself, though, when you get to day 10 of training camp and you've been going and going and going, and the heat is getting higher and higher and higher. That's when you really find out. But yeah, no, man, everybody's locked in. But yeah, Grubb definitely looked locked in. Let's see what else we have in here. Christian, how did Beeman look on the D-line drills? Great question, man. He looks solid. He's a big dude. I think he's up to like 315 plus, and he's got like a big base, man. He's got a big old base, right? But for a guy that big, he looked like he was moving pretty well, and I know a lot of coaches are excited about him. He's put on a lot of weight since he's been here. I think he's definitely going to be competing for some reps on that interior defensive line unit, and I mean, he's a big dude. I mean, he's tall. Got a lot of length, but he's filled out. But he moves well for a guy like that. And he had a good spring too, man. Had a really good spring, but he looked good moving around those drills today. So I think there's a chance he's competing to get him some reps, rotating with guys like Tim and James Smith. Let's see what else we got real quick before we hit this timeout. What is the leadership? Is a good question. What does the leadership look like this year on defense and offense? Really good question, man. Defensively speaking, Tim Keenan, really good leader. The guy in the middle, he's always going to be one of your big leaders. And then, when he's already done it for a number of years, he's got even more respect, right? You know what you're getting. Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, those guys are probably leading the charge. Keon Sabb, another really good leader. The really good thing is, all 3 levels, you got great leadership, right? Tim Keenan, not just him, even, LT Overton, but you got great leadership on the front. Linebacker union, you got Deontay Lawson, right? I mean, you got a veteran presence from Hill Green. I know he hadn't been here, but he offers something from the perspective that he's been around the block, right? He's a vet. Then you move on to the back end, right? Keon Sabb, even Bray Hubbard. We had him on the show, and you just heard how he was talking, man. I mean, you have a lot of really good leadership. So I think that's going to be a strong suit of this team offense. Very similar deal. Offensive line, Brailsford, Jaden Roberts. He's a big vocal guy. Caden Proctor. The offensive line, I feel like this year has a lot of good leadership. Quarterback position, Ty has a lot of respect in that locker room. A lot of people, gravitate to him. He does a really good job. And then from the receiver spot, man, I think Jeremy Bernard is a very mature player. He does everything the right way. Obviously, working with Ryan Williams and bringing in Horton, we've heard a lot from him. He does a nice job as well. I think you've got great leadership on both sides of the football. So really good question, Phil. I don't think that should be of any concern, man. I think they're going to do a really good job this season leading their troops, man. That being said, we got to hit another timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. We're going to go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. Day one is in the books, man. I know you guys are excited. You guys got any more questions, man? We'll keep answering them. We're going to answer some phone calls here in a second, but we're going to keep on rolling. after this quick timeout right here on the Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. Welcome in, guys. I know we got a lot of probably some newer folks in here. If you guys are new, man, again, welcome in. It's Miller's Edge. If you're not familiar with me, I'm Christian Miller, former linebacker, played here, all that good stuff. But we're a radio show, but we do stream on YouTube at the same time. So that's what we're doing. So if you're curious, if you're here on YouTube and you're wondering, yes, we're live on radio, but we obviously we stream the show here, man. That way we can connect with all you guys. But anyway, feel free to subscribe. Like the video, that always helps us out. Just kind of helps with the algorithm stuff. But make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, man. We're Monday through Friday, and we'll be bringing all this coverage to you, breaking down videos, stuff like this. But then obviously when the season comes around, man, we're full go. We're breaking stuff down. Plus, we'd like to get guests on here. We had Bray on here the other day. We'll get former players on here. Ryan Anderson's supposed to join the show this week. I'll get you guys a date on that here in a little bit. But a lot of fun stuff planned this season. So make sure you guys get up to speed with everything. X at the Miller's Edge. You can follow us there. Send us stuff. Matter of fact, QD sent us something. What did he send us? Pull it up real quick. I think he sent us some. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. QD sent us this. He said Damani Jackson wasn't getting any love, man. You know, it's the media. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not familiar with every single guy they have on this list, so it's hard for me to say. But I will say I do believe that Damani Jackson is a really good player, a guy that is kind of flying under the radar. But if you go and watch the tape, I mean, from a technique standpoint, I mean, he's got great speed. He plays the ball well. I thought he had pretty solid production last year. I mean, I feel like by the end of the year, he'll probably work his way on this list, but you know how it goes, QD. These preseason lists, man, they are what they are. But I'm surprised even Xavier's not eligible, so he wouldn't. If Xavier was eligible, he would have been on here. But I just realized this is for the NFL draft. But I'm telling you right now, excuse me. Sorry. Damani Jackson, he'll be a top 10 corner going into the draft by the end of the year. You can mark that. Y'all can clip this, whatever you want to do, but he will. Cutie said, "Come on, Damian Harris was a dog. Dude also didn't get walked down on several." Bro, are you going to try to tell me about my own teammate, bro? We used to literally joke on him about getting walked down. What are you saying, bro? He used to get walked down all the time. It wasn't no problem. I mean, shoot, I would have got walked down too. If my ass was running 70 yards. I mean, I would have got tired too. You got to go back and watch, fam. Cutie, I think it might have been a while since you've seen it. I'm not saying all the time. I'm just saying, like, we used to joke on him about getting walked down. That's part of it, though. I mean, some guys have better breakaway speed. Some guys have better burst. I mean, you know.
Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Right. Damn, I want to keep hitting all these questions. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Breaking down practice number 1 again, officially in the books, man. Alabama has officially hit the field for practice number 1 for training camp. I just left from up there not long ago, about an hour ago. And we're sitting here recapping it for you guys, answering a lot of questions. Again, we got a lot of people here on the YouTube stream. For our radio listeners, if you guys want to join the stream, feel free. At the Miller's Edge on YouTube, man, you guys can watch me do the show. We got practice highlights playing. Obviously, we can pull up all type of stuff. You guys know the drill, but check us out there if you haven't already. And if you guys are new on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't. If you like this kind of stuff, we'll be doing it again Monday through Friday, all that stuff. And as we get into the season, man, we'll definitely turn up the heat on the content. But that being said, I also talked with Courtney Morgan today, and he said he would be glad to jump on the show next week. So we will probably be talking with Courtney Morgan next week as well. Just kind of get an update on, how his summer went and all that stuff. Obviously, I know he's busy, so I'm just happy that he'd be, good to jump on here. So be prepared for that. That being said, let's go to the phone lines because we got a lot of questions here, and I'm going to keep answering the questions in the chat. Don't worry. Keep dropping the questions in the chat. I want to keep answering them, but we're going to go to the phone lines real quick. That way we can get to some of these folks. Then we'll come back here in a minute. But first up, we got our buddy two-time Tommy. Tommy, welcome in, man.
Hey, Christian. How are you today?
Man, I'm great, Tommy. Football is back, brother. I feel like we're all in a good mood today, right?
Yeah. It's a silent time. Just need a little cooler weather. All right, Come on, tell everybody the truth. You want to go out there and run again, didn't you? Tell the truth.
Listen. I talked to Jeff Allen when I was out there. You know what? I think I would put my trust in him. I got it in me. I can go out there and I just tell him, look, man, if I'm soft and I can't take it, I just trust you, man. If I fall out, you got me. Just tell me you got me, and I'm gonna go out there. But I did tell Kane Womack. I did tell Kane Womack. Because he was playing around saying throw a jersey on him, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably would have really, really enjoyed playing in your defense. Can't lie, man. He's got a fun defense for outside linebacker, man. It allows you to really just let it rip, man. And I told him, I said, shoot, I wouldn't mind playing in your system.
Well, like you said, they look like they're ready to go. They got something to prove. They're excited to be out there on the field. And it's not like they got a oneness to them, I mean. They got to have that. Because this is going to be a long season. If you want to make it to January the 20th, July the 30th is a long time from January the 20th.
Absolutely.
You got to stay focused.
Yeah, and that's why, right now, man, getting after it and really getting acclimated and getting back in the swing of it is important. Look, I mean, I know they've been going, this whole summer and getting a lot of good work in, but I'm telling you, man, it's just something different about practice and actually playing football, wearing helmets and pads and all that. But you're right. And really, man, staying healthy is one of the big pieces to the puzzle. So hopefully, knock on wood, man, we got a season of great health. Guys can stay healthy. But the good news is, I mean, we know injuries, even though injuries are inevitable, the good news with that is we got a lot of good depth with this team. I mean, even looking at this guy, like 15 right here, I can't remember his name. I think he's a freshman, but at the linebacker spot. I mean, I watched him this spring. He was getting after it. I'm excited about him. I can't remember his name, but sorry, I just saw him on this clip. Go ahead, Tommy.
Well, no, I mean, you make a good point. The only thing I want to see, we got the numbers. Some places we just don't have the depth, experience, the playing time. That's what I want to see over the next few weeks and during the season. Because injury is going to happen. That's just part of the game. It's a contact viewer game. I'll tell you a funny story real quick. I like to watch whole game. I like to research. I've been watching some of the Florida State and Alabama games in the past. I watched the 67 game for the last 2 nights studying. Oh, my Lord. That game took 6 hours today, or half the team have been thrown out. I never saw some blocking below the knees, now spearing, using a helmet, tuck trials from lock. I'm like, oh my Lord. I got laughing. My brother said, what are you laughing? I'm like, he can't do that today. He can't do that today. There's like 3 penalties on that play. How far the game have progressed promoting safety for the players. That's the point I was making, but
oh yeah, no, it's come a long way, and they're going to keep doing stuff to change it. We saw the rule changes. We talked about them yesterday, but that's part of it, man. You just got to grow and adapt, and that's what we'll keep on doing, man.
Yeah, well, I want to get it safe because Ellis is coming down, so you got to help him next week.
Absolutely. Is it next week? Is it next week that he'll be here?
I think
is that when they have? Matter of fact, you can see me in the background of this video. That's funny. So next, you said next week is, I think, I'll be on the lookout for that because he said they're putting Alabama members through drills. See, look, this is what this drill right here on our YouTube stream is bending around these sticks that they got in the ground. That was a really good rep by Noah Carter right there. This is what I want to put Ellis through. So if he's going to be out here, this Justin Hill, pretty good rep right there. Yeah, we'll put Ellis through some of those outside linebacker drills. That way I can work him through them. And then you're next, Tommy. So bring your cleats, man. I'll even if you don't have that level of subscription, I'll cover it. That way I can put you through some drills, man. You just tell me what position you want to work.
I'm gonna sit by the freezer.
There you go. There we go.
I don't want to be a bench warmer no more. I want to sit by the freezer.
There you go. We'll figure something out.
All right, buddy. You have a great day. Thanks for taking my call. Roll Tide.
Always, Tommy. We appreciate you, man. Good deal. All right. Top of the hour break. When we come back, we keep breaking down practice number 1 officially in the books. We got the highlights loaded up on the screen. We'll continue talking about it. Plus, we got QD on the phone lines. We'll go to him when we come back and more. Plus, we still got to hear from Kalen DeBoer. We'll get to that as well right here on the show. The Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa.
All right, let's see. Let's see if Kalen DeBoer's press conference is pulled up. I'm sure it is. So if you guys are wondering what they're doing right here and why they're just tossing the football, these outside linebackers, is working on hands, hips explosion. Coming out your hips, exploding through your hips, right? That's what they're doing right there. We used to do a variation of it, but instead of like a ball, we used to have somebody hold up the let me run it back. They used to hold up the of course, got a commercial. They used to hold up the pad, and then we used to just have to like launch into it. But it's basically like, football, man. People, obviously a lot of hand usage, but your hips are critical, right? You got to play with your hips. You got to be able to snap your hips, man. That's where your power comes from. So that's what they're working right there with that drill. But I always love these drills, man. It really, lets you exercise that dip, bend in the corner, right? I'm excited about him. I think he's going to be a good player. I mean, right here, he could have a little bit better hip bend. You see he could bend a little bit better, but man, he's going to be a good player. But see how he explodes out of that, though? I mean, that's big, right? You got to be able to put everything together, right? You got to have great get off. Look at me. You can tell I'm impressed right there. That's me right there. But coming back out of it, man, exploding, finishing on the quarterback, that's big, man. Chad said, thanks for the Q&A. You're the best. Oh, man, no, you ain't got to thank me, bro. That's what we do here, man. That's what this is about, man. It's all about. I was telling Courtney Morgan today when I was up there. I mean, like, I'm not a journalist, guys. Like, I know we do, like, it's a radio show and all that stuff. I'm not a journalist. I could care less about that stuff. We don't do breaking news. This is about talking football, having fun, barbershop type talks, then also being able to kind of educate. And obviously, I know you guys want my opinion on stuff, and I do that, but even talking X's and O's and really just breaking stuff down, giving you guys glimpses, kind of, how stuff really works, right? I think that's what's fun for me, man. But yeah, no, of course, bro. You're welcome. Noah Carter's rep was really good right there too, though. You see what I'm saying, though? Like with Latham, again, I mean, he's a good player, but you see the speed difference, guys? Interview with Hubbard was great. Thanks, bro. Yeah, no, shout out to Bray, man. Bray Hubbard's the best, man. Support him any way you can with all that Alabama stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get some more guys on here too. So if you like that one, don't worry, man. We got a lot of stuff coming y'all's way. And welcome back in to this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. I've said it a number of times, and I'll say it again. If you didn't know, Alabama kicked off fall training camp. Technically, they did yesterday. They had meetings and stuff, but they officially hit the practice field today, and that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about it. We're breaking it down. Shout out to Bama Online and then TDA. We use their practice video, so that's what we're looking at right now, watching it and breaking it down. And funny enough, you can catch me watching the outside linebacker drills in the background, man, checking out the backers. But anyway, some really good stuff. I mean, you see right here on this clip when I was talking about Latham again. I mean, his body type, his ability, he's going to be more that first, second down guy, at least in terms of at that wolf spot. But then when you see, guys like Justin and Noah Carter, I mean, those guys work. I'm just curious which one of those younger guys, even Yonze Pierre, is going to be the young guy out of that bunch. You see these three guys, those three young bucks. Which one of them is going to be the guy to step up and be that next man up? But anyway, we got to get back to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. We got QD up next. QD, welcome in.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Talk to me, QD. What's up, man?
Hey, bro, I was going to call in and ask you about something specifically about football too. I seen your dad's comment about the chapstick hour.
Oh, well, his ears must have been burning because as soon as you said that, I heard a little boop, and he popped up at the bottom of the stage. So he just hopped on the stream. I'll throw him on here in a second, but yeah, he's going to try any chance he can get. He knows we're excited. Alabama's hitting the practice field. He knows everybody's going to be excited. Look, but that's why I prefaced, though. I did say, I mean, there's only so much we can break down. I'm not going to sit there and act like, just because I was able to watch practice one that I can sit there and tell you guys the future and what's going to happen. No, I'll just give you my quick little observations. But anyway, go ahead.
No, really, I agree. I was like, I want to hear your breakdown after the pass on or after a scrimmage. You know what I mean? Really, because like you said, it's kind of hard really to see what's going on today. But no, I was one of the most staunchest anti-chapstickers last season. That was because new coaching staff. I had my question marks about DeBoer. I had zero confidence in Nick Sheridan, as I made it very clear on this show many times before. And I had my that's by pain moment, to be honest with you. Now, I'm in chapsticking mode this year too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it right here. I feel that this team, Christian, and I hope your dad listening.
Oh, he is. Hold on, I'm gonna put him on the stage. Let me mute him though. I don't know if he's ready yet. Hold on. Are you ready? Oh, he's good. He's good. So he's listening. He's ready to go. He's got his Popeye pipe.
What's up, POP?
What's happening, brother? I'm just sitting here listening to you. You starting the season off so rowdy, chapstick. Wow.
He didn't even say what he was going to say. Let him say it.
But I'm a chapstick this year, man. I expect this team to be an SEC and national championship contender. Why not? Why not?
But listen, QD, listen. But to be fair, you're not the only one that feels that way. I mean, there's a lot of national pundits that have slowly started kind of getting on that ship. Now, initially, a lot of people were kind of sleeping on Alabama, but I don't know if it was media day or what. We've seen people gravitating towards that, so it's all good. I'm cool with it.
I'm
QD. I'm cool with
too.
it.
I'm chapsticking a little bit too. We've had Kalen DeBoer on, my new boy Bray Hubbard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit. Nah, I mean, I ain't going crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, listen, I don't know if you're on the stream or if you're on the live air, but I had a tube just for you, because I knew you were going to come in here with this. And like, I knew I bought a fresh new tube. I mean, it's extra liquidation on your lips.
Whoa!
I mean, so it's good. It's good chapstick.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Listen, Kristen gave me a tube the other day, man.
Yeah, I did. And
for real.
I was out of pocket. It was cotton candy too. Matter of fact, it's right here. I lended them some cotton candy.
Yeah. And I hadn't even chapstick yet. He hit me with it. But listen.
Okay.
This is the difference, brothers. The difference is my chapsticking is I'm putting the pressure on them, bro. It's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. This team is a playoff team minimum, man. What you got coming back? You got Ryan Burrow back. You got 3 of the 5 offensive linemen back. You got linebackers, the defensive linemen, the secondary. You went out and upgraded the wide receiver group. Come on, man.
Fair. I'll be honest with you though, and this might be kind of an unpopular opinion, but the middle, like the linebacker spot, well, I'll just say both because I just was saying I need somebody outside of Quay Russaw to step up a little bit. But Linebacker group, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's a little bit of a question mark for me there. And I know you got Deontay Lawson, Justin Jefferson. People are probably, what are you talking about, man? But you got Deontay Lawson who's coming off of a knee injury. I mean, it's going to take him a minute to kind of, get back feeling to his full self, even if he's cleared. I can tell you guys from experience. I've dealt with probably almost every injury you can imagine. But outside of that, it's just you bring in Hill Green, who I know, he's a veteran, but he's new, right? He's new in this system. I know he's more of a big physical type guy. So I'm just curious to see that linebacker group, really. But other than that, I mean, I feel pretty good about everything else on the defensive side of things.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this quick. I agree with you. I agree that the pressure should be on this football team. One, I gave them a pass for last year. I really did. And I was saying that last year. I'm like, because I knew it was going to be a struggle. I knew they're going to have some games that wasn't going to be up to the standard of Alabama, which, we can go back to Vanderbilt. We can go back to Oklahoma. We can go back to the bowl game against Michigan, what have you. So I was like, you still got to give this man took over for Nick Saban. I don't care what they say. That's a lot of pressure. Right. And you still don't necessarily have the total buy-in of every single player. You lost some of your best players to the portal when that happened. So you have to give him a pass. Now, he's been here. He's had a chance to learn the Southeast, know the system, know how everything works, who's in the office. Everything is kosher now. So now it's about football. You got Grubb back. Nobody believed in Nick Sherman. I heard you allude to that. I mean, that was kind of a joke. I mean, but that wasn't going to work. I mean, that what I mean? But now you got your guy that everybody was anticipating coming here, but yet he went to Seattle last year. Now he's back, right? Offense should be better. Ryan Williams got a year under his belt. He's going to be more mature. You got a new quarterback. Now all the fans don't have to sit here and complain to us about Jalen Milroe. We ain't going to hear that no more. Your guy Ty Simpson is in. So let's go. So no excuses. No excuses. So Georgia's not Georgia. Let's be real about it, right? Georgia's not the same team anymore. It's caught up. Players. They had a lot of players go the last 2 or 3 years to the National Football League. They got a lot of youth in areas. They got a quarterback really hadn't played a whole lot of snaps. So who else? Texas seemed to be the standard, but they got a new quarterback. In Manning. I mean, I know his name is Manning, but that doesn't say you're going to show up and be a great football player. So they got a big question that needs to be answered. So when you look at the totality of the SEC guys, why not Alabama? WNA. Why not Alabama? So South Carolina, my Gamecock's going to be there in the mix. And so everybody else is kind of Ole Miss. So they got just as good of a chance to win the SEC and be a playoff football team than anybody else in the country.
Agreed. Man.
I know you're kind of in disbelief. Trust me, Cutie. I know we're still trying to adapt to these positive type takes from them. But hey, man, I'm not complaining, brother. I'm not complaining one bit. Hey, and listen, let me say this because somebody made this comment because they're like, "Well, I like your dad when he's whatever." I'm like, no. My dad's not like playing one side. No. Like what he's saying is what he believes. So if he's quote unquote chapsticking or whatever, right? I know we play around and use that word, but if he's speaking, he's not just doing that just to do it. He literally feels that way. So you're not going to pull out some harsh critique just because you know what I'm saying. You want him to say that. He's not going to do that just to do it. If he feels that way, he feels it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Just
all you got to do is whoever wrote that. Wait to scrimmage number 1.
That's why. That's why I call this show, because I get the real, raw, uncut. So you got 2 type of Bama fans, man. You got the realists, and you got the sunshine pumpers. I like the realness. I'm a realist, but this team right here, man, they should be contenders. I'm gonna put Christian. I'm putting the same amount of saving expectations on this team as I put on y'all.
Whoa! Hey, hold on. All right. So, let me say this. I'll say this. I get what you mean by that. When you say that, you're saying SEC and national title contenders. That's the quote unquote Saban type pressure you're talking about. I understand that. And I'll say this. This team should have that because everything he just mentioned. Really, the biggest thing for me, this team. I mean, it really comes down to like. And I was just talking about this with some folks at practice today, man. You look at the season last year, the things that went wrong or that didn't go great for Alabama were all fixable. You get what I'm saying? If you look at it, they're all things that can be worked on and done better. And really, when you look at this season already off the field in terms of, the personnel, the roster, what's coming back, you already feel good there. And to me, last season, I mean, you were, literally a couple moments away from being a playoff team. And the reason I say a couple moments, when you look like Vanderbilt, right? If you had a better plan defensively that week and were able to get off the football field, you mark that up as a W. This team's probably in the college football playoffs, right? We can if we can find ways to get off the field on third down, if we can find ways offensively to have a consistent running game, to have a better sustainable, more sustainable drives, right? Not just looking for home runs all the time. Like those little details, which I think are very fixable. I think you fix those things, and this team easily wins another game, at least, if not 2 more games. And that would have put them at what, like 1, maybe 2 loss team. So, no, I think it totally makes sense to be optimistic like that, QD. I don't think, to me, I think that's very fair. I think that makes total sense. Chapstick aside.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm going to clarify now. I'm not saying this is a Saban-built team. I'm saying the expectation.
Fair.
No,
fair. I agree.
Saban-level team, talent-wise. I'm not saying that.
No, I agree.
Not chapsticking on that level now.
No, and I'll say this to my dad's point. I've been saying that about Georgia too. Is that again? I fully expect them to be a good football team, but that same elite type team, to me, they have question marks just like anybody else, and they're more question marks than they have in the last few years. And when we were looking at the schedule yesterday, it made me think. I'm like, really looking at Alabama's schedule. Yeah, that's going to be a tough game regardless because they still got good players and it's a revenge game. But I'm like, man, really, I'm starting to look at the teams that we have on our schedule, and you just look at how this team here in Tuscaloosa is put together. Just like my dad was saying, I mean, if anything, we're one of the top teams in the SEC just from a personnel standpoint alone. And if you can figure out those little details I just talked about, I mean, I think you're in good shape. But like he said, though, I mean, there's no more excuses right now, right? I mean, we got just like practice today. The vibe at practice was totally different. It didn't feel like the adjustment.
You mean, Drunk Town Willie wasn't there breaking them down?
You know what's funny? I didn't see hardly any of that stuff this spring. Like,
good.
I'll be completely honest with you, man. I think Coach DeBoer and company, man, you can just sense like they get it. They had a year to kind of feel it out. Now they get it. And that energy at practice was a lot different. I mean, there was not like that, year one. Oh, let's bring everybody around, or not outside people. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're feeling everything out. Like, he's still trying to connect with the players. No. The standard is set now. They know what to expect from Coach DeBoer, and it appeared to me like everybody was on board with that, which is a really good sign. Good deal. QD, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
He was just taking a break. He was just lubing up.
He was using his chapstick. He was applying. He was supplying his chapstick.
Hey, man. Look, man. When you work into the science side team, man, you constantly got multiple monsters going. So I'm working and I'm taking time. I have to call in, bro.
Wait a minute, bro. You got like two screens, big computer screens.
I got like 3 or 4 of them, brother.
Listen here, bro.
You need to get what I got. You need to get what I got.
He got 4 screens. This man is multitasking at his best. So I knew something about you, Keith. I said, this dude right here, this is what I'm saying. That's what I love about this show. This dude right here got it going on. I mean, Joe, you my dude right now. You need to take a picture of your computer screens. Make sure you go back to the home screen because ain't no telling what you're looking at. I might have to pray for you.
Wow.
Hey, man, nah, brother, no. But all good. It's all good. But good talking to y'all, man. It's football season. It's my favorite time of the year. So,
yes, sir.
Roll Tide.
Sir.
Get ready. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Appreciate it, QD. All right, we got to hit timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. We got Q06 on the phone lines. Plus, we got some questions in the chat and we'll get to all coming up right here on the Miller's Edge. And we got Kalen DeBoer's interview that we'll play here next. Not next, but in a little bit here. Right here. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Kalen DeBoer's interview was about 15 minutes, so we'll make sure we save enough time for that. Hear what he has to say. If we stay healthy and stop beating ourselves like we've been doing the last 3 years, we have a good shot at anybody in the country. No, I agree, man.
I agree with that. I mean, listen, there's not a juggernaut out there right now. I mean, I think, we could talk about this on a different day, but I really believe the parity in college football, I think there's 16, 20 teams that if you just look at their roster, look at their schedule, you might, they can win it all, or for sure be a playoff team. I mean, we just talking about the SEC, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas,
LSU.
LSU. If they beat Clemson to start with, man, they're gonna have a chance to do something special. South Carolina, beat Virginia Tech, and they got some of the tougher games at home this year. So it's a tough place to win. That wins by, they were on the cusp last year. So I think there's 6-7 teams in the SEC right now that you can probably say can make the playoffs, right? And then you go to Big Ten. Ohio State lost a lot, but they're going to be good still. They were just replenished with all the money that they got. Penn State normally good. Michigan's going to be Michigan, so you for sure go those three. Illinois shouldn't be in the playoff. That was a joke last year, but you always have a Cinderella. ACC, everybody got Clemson at the top 5 team, but their deal is to beat LSU and South Carolina, the 2 hardest teams on their schedule. That's the first game and the last game. Everybody else in between they're gonna be favored. So you got Louisville, Georgia Tech. Somebody was telling me on the radio here, they got to play Louisville and Georgia Tech. I started laughing. Really? So now we call them, big time opponents. So Clemson's schedule probably sets up better than anybody. If they can just beat LSU and then at South Carolina, which is going to be hard games, and still, if they lose both those games and go undefeated, they got Miami in that conference, but they lost a lot. Cam Ward's gone, so who's going to be the quarterback there? So Clemson's probably going to be another playoff team. They're probably going to win the ACC. But who else in the ACC that we're talking about? Not nobody. North Carolina with Bill Belichick. I don't think that's going to be anything special. So where are the teams coming from? That's what I'm saying. Who are we talking about in the country, right? We go out west. Who's going to do their thing out there? So this is why I'm saying Alabama has a chance early. I'm just being real. It ain't about me trying to chapstick, but they got plenty of good players. The biggest question is going to be, is Ty Simpson going to be that dude? And then who's, you got receivers that he can distribute the ball to. Tight end to me is a question. I heard you talking about all those drops. Who's going to be the tight end? CJ's gone.
You got Danny Lewis coming back. Who you remember him? Bigger guy.
Yeah.
Other than him,
you
got some other younger guys, but you're right. That's probably the biggest question mark on offense. And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC, breaking down Alabama practice number 1 officially in the books. Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media post-practice. We'll get to that here in a minute. But first, let's go back to the phone lines and continue talking with you guys. Plus, we got plenty to talk about in the chat. We'll do that as well. 205-342-9904 is the number if you guys want to hop on and join us here on the show. We got Q06 up next. Q, welcome in.
Come on, Devon. QD giving y'all an example of the podcast QD and Q06 show that's coming down the road. Broadcast by Burt's Bees Lip Gloss. It will be our first sponsor.
Brought to you by Burt's Bees, man. I love it.
Christian, Corey, I once gave a sermon that was called "If Not, Why Not?" That's what I'm going to say about the Alabama football season this year. Are we going to win it? Are we going to win a bunch of games? Or win SEC National Championship? If not, why not? I mean, did you not see that in practice today? What'd you see? I mean, obviously they got out there and they sweat, they got around, they toss football around. But, I mean, you can't learn a lot from today, right?
Yeah, no, and that's why I preface by saying, I mean, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I know a lot of people are going to have all these observations as if like they can give you this insight. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm at practice like outside of the media period, like at the full practice, and there's only so much I can tell you. So what I'll say is this: you could just look at, just like I was looking at the outside linebacker room and kind of getting an idea on the personnel in there, right? You know what I mean? Like what guys, do what well, stuff like that. Just how they move in indie drills. But other than that, Q, I mean, we'll know a lot more once the pads come on, once they get into the scrimmage stuff. That'll give us a better idea. But I mean, I could just tell you straight up. I mean, I think defense line, you got a couple guys that are intriguing. I keep mentioning Jordan because what I do is I just really just look to see if someone kind of stands out first, right? Like who's kind of flashing.
You're a defense guy. You're a defense guy first. You're always going to look at them.
Yeah, and really with anything, I mean, if there's somebody that just flashes right, just by how they're moving, you can kind of judge that. And to me, like today, like a couple guys, like Jordan Renaud, just seeing him work in drills, he flashed because I can then visualize, all right, how he's progressed and developed. I can kind of see like, all right, I can see him in these situations and how that would apply once, we get pads on and stuff like that. I'm expecting big things from him. I know I keep mentioning him, but he to me is a guy that can really come along and be a good player in this defense. I mean, Justin Hill, just went through that rep right there. Young guy that I'm really excited about as well. But, yeah, we'll know more as the practices continue to stack up, Q.
So a year ago, I asked Corey a question if Ryan Williams was really that real of a receiver because he's fourth string to first string. And then I heard a little shade he threw, I don't know when the interview was, yesterday or the day before. I went back and analyzed what I think he was talking about. I think he was talking about himself of some of those bad routes he ran last year. I mean, just being a more complete player. I think he's looking for a way to throw some fire, some wood on the fire to get himself motivated. What you think?
You don't need that. You're
talking about Ryan Williams?
Yeah, he don't need to stoke the fire. I mean, the fire's already stoked if you go back and look at his last 4 games, right?
But did you see what he's talking about? Do you know the clip?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Well, I'm saying, well, everybody was saying that everybody was jumping to the conclusion that he was talking about Jalen Milroe because basically he was on his stream and he said, man, y'all thought I did something last year. Y'all, if only y'all knew what I was going or what I was dealing with or what, battling through last year. And everybody immediately said, oh, he's talking about Jalen Milroe at quarterback, which matter of fact, I mean, this clip right here.
I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all just don't know, bro. Everything that I was dealing with last year, bro. Lord willing, man, got a lot in store. But this one, nothing. What y'all thought when all the comparisons last year that y'all was doing wasn't nothing. So,
I mean, I clearly, I don't immediately jump to Jalen right there. I jumped to probably banged up. We know he was a little banged up at times. It could be a number of factors. I mean, could he? I guess, but I don't think he would sit there and go throw Milroe under the bus like that.
No, listen, the dude had a lot going on, right? I mean, you got to think about expectations for him.
Fingernail polish?
Yeah, fingernail
polish. Okay. Let's stick to the. Okay.
Hold on, let me finish my point. He had freshman slump, right? He started out gangbusters. You got to remember, the dude is 17 years old, right? He should have been in high school, playing in playoffs or something, right? In high school playoffs. And he showed some flashes of being extremely phenomenal, right? The great catch radius, run after the catch. He can make moves. He can get out of breaks. He can take it to his house. He had all of that. And then he started getting hit. And then I think teams also defensively, you start to scheme against a guy like that. You start running different, giving him different looks and coverages that confuses him. And on top, he's banged up, so he didn't finish strong. So it's not about Jalen. I mean, because the first 7-8 games, Jalen, he was doing great. So things changed in the final quarter of the season. But I think with him having some help, because people are going to scheme him for sure now. Starting game 1, he's going to get schemed by Florida State. So he has to be able to beat coverages, and then you got to have other guys, take some of that pressure, alleviate pressure. So I expect him to be a 12 to 1,300 yard receiver, 10+ touchdowns. There's no reason he shouldn't be.
That's bold. Ooh, that's bold there. Whew.
Yeah,
I mean, you got one football. You got Horton. He's gonna get his catches. You got. I guarantee y'all ain't supposed to keep Lobster Brooks off the field. He's gonna find his way out there to get the catches. And then we got a receiver coming back from last. I mean, it's one football.
Yeah,
so,
but
but
you got to remember, Q. He's wide receiver 1. You know what I mean? And he put up 860 yards last year, 8 touchdowns. Look, you got to only expect that number to increase. I agree, and that was with him kind of slowing down towards the end. But again, and another reason I don't necessarily look at it necessarily being a Milroe thing. If you look at his targets, I mean, even like the Tennessee game. I mean, Milroe was trying to get him the ball as much as possible. Right now, yes, one could argue, obviously, Milroe wasn't always consistent. We can agree on that, right? But I don't know. To me, I don't know. It's just annoying that people immediately just jump to Milroe this, Milroe that. But anyway, about a month away from finally being able to fully turn the page.
I didn't mean to get Corey.
Corey about
not you. I mean, not lipstick. Excuse me. It was fingernail polish. I'm sorry. And then they brought some taco trucks out there, and then they brought an ice cream truck out there, and then they brought Willie out there. Nah, man, let's flip the pages. Let's do something totally different this year. Let's get that tide back rolling. I'm gonna get my chapstick going, and me and Corey, we're gonna have our battles backwards and forwards on the season. At the end,
no. Preachers don't fight. We don't quarrel. We find a way. We find a way to navigate. Right? We find a way.
Did you notice something he said, Corey? You notice how he brought God into that conversation? He said, "Good Lord willing, I'm gonna have it." That's that young man solid. He's solid on his faith, man. I like that. Everybody didn't probably catch that, but the minister will catch something like that right away.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
He knows he got to have some help to execute to get out there and do what he does. The Christian, man, I love the breakdown y'all had on Bray. That was nice. I do feel bad that I have not went back and heard Nick Saban yet, but man, I'm out here trying to learn Spanish every single solitary day. And it's hot up here in Indianapolis, and the mayor watching me because he know I ain't doing much work. I'm talking about Alabama football. So I better go back over and do some work, y'all. I appreciate it. Much love. Talk to y'all later on, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, QO6.
06. Good Indianapolis, deal. Indiana.
That's right. Hey, let's do this. Let's Chase, if we can, we're going to keep rolling because I'm going to get that DeBoer press conference played here around 40, 45, and then that'll kind of roll through it. So if we can, I might just go ahead and go back to the phone lines while we're rolling here, then do like a double break after this segment. But we got Bryce up next. Bryce, welcome in.
Hey, thanks for letting me talk, Kristen.
Yeah, man.
How are you?
Hello, Bryce. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. You guys, I just see a different ball game what everybody's saying with Florida State. I just think it's going to be about like the Wisconsin game was last year. Going on the road and everybody hyped up Wisconsin and all that. I don't see what everybody else is seeing.
Well, I'll tell you what I see is that I don't see a 2-10 team. I see a team that's got a lot of talent that really just had a really, really bad season last year. But what I see is that they do have, Gus Malzahn, offensive coordinator. They got a quarterback who's definitely got that dual threat ability. I could see that being something, obviously not saying to cause problems, but, it's just never easy defending an offense / quarterback of that style, right? I see it being the first game. We looked at how we played on the road last year. Outside of that Wisconsin game, we didn't play great. All our losses came on the road, right? So with it being week 1, you already know there's going to be not necessarily growing pains, but you know how it is. I mean, there's going to be some things, some little, bumps and bruises. It's week 1. Everybody's kind of feeling it out, figuring it out. So do I see it going completely like that Wisconsin game went? I don't know. I mean, remember, the Wisconsin quarterback got knocked out, and from there, it was wraps. But I'm not saying it's going to be so. Again. It could happen. Hell, I mean, for all the talk he's been doing, yeah. But I'll say this, Bryce. So, look, I hope it goes like that. But all I'm saying is, I just think what people are trying to say, Bryce, is you can't just look at the record last year, the team that they were last year. You got to, know that they've got good players and they're going to be better than they were last year, right? And you just got to just expect that game might have it's going to present some challenges, but I expect us to win the game without a doubt.
Well, the quarterback can run his mouth, and this defense is going to be ugly. We got a lot of people back, and we're going to run the ball down their throat, and then that's going to leave Ryan Williams open. He's going to show out.
Well, look, you said we're going to run the ball down his throat. Hey, look, I hope that's the case. I mean, we hadn't really, ran the ball down people's throat consistently for, a number of years now. But, hell, if we do that, I'm telling you, I feel like we'll be able to play with anybody in the country because you know what you're getting out that receiver room. That's why I keep saying the biggest key for this offense this year really is the offensive line, their ability to really get a consistent running game going. I think everything else will take care of itself.
Well, I think the running game, too, helps you with the play-action pass. I mean, when
100%.
you're Alabama, you're Ryan Grubb, a new offensive coordinator. I go back to 2 years ago, right, when Washington made it to the national championship game. And they had a they had a 1,000-yard rusher. I think a lot of people forget about that. They had a 1,000-yard rusher in the backfield, and that opened up a lot of the play-action passes. So the question would be, with Ty Simpson now being the starting quarterback at Alabama, can they get Jam Miller? Can they get Daniel Hill? Can they get some of these other guys running the football downhill, imposing their will on teams? And when you got a young quarterback, I noticed, Bryce, for a fact, their best weapon is sometimes that tight end. That's why we were talking about this earlier during the break. Those short intermediate passes, right? He's got to have outlets. Sometimes it's the running back like Jam on the swing routes, things like that, giving him safe and secure passes, building up his confidence. But to me, if this offense is going to run like we think it's going to run, go back 2 years ago and look at Washington and look at how they used the running back there and how they use the passing game with the running backs out of the backfield. So if Alabama can get to close to that level of offense, I think it's going to help the defense because you're going to have sustained drives. You're going to rest the defense, and they're going to play much better football. So, we just got to wait and see. But I think there will be a really big-time focus, if you will, on the running game of Alabama because I think if you get third and long, obvious passing situations, then you're talking about having trouble with the big nasties up front, the offensive linemen. And we've had problems on the edges, even with Caden Proctor, 5-star left tackle, right tackle still, who's going to be that guy. So if you get an obvious passing situation, then I think that's going to spell trouble for this offense of Alabama.
Well, POP, I'm on the same page with you. The running game's going to be a lot better, and that's going to open up, like you said, the pass. And this team's going to play with a chip on their shoulder. They didn't like where they finished last year. And especially that quarterback come out talking noise right off the gate, that's setting everything up. You don't think they listen to that stuff and they're going to have that in the locker room before the game? There's nobody I'd rather beat the snot out of is Malzahn. Him coming over there like he's going to be the save the day, the savior. Yeah, he'll be wishing he's back in Central Florida. I mean, I just got that feeling, Kristen. I'm sorry.
Hey, you ain't got to apologize. Hey, I love the comments. Like I said, I think we walk away with a good win there. I just can see that. Look, there's signs that there's going to be some challenges presented, right? I mean, again, no football game you just fully expect to walk in unless you're playing the Citadel, which we didn't completely walk over them either. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, it's going to be a good matchup. I like that it's early on, though. It gets us, road tested from week one. I think that'll help prepare us for the road challenges that we have coming up down the road. But yeah, man, I think you're right. They will play with an edge. They got a lot of bulletin board material to lean on if they need it. They shouldn't need it though, but if they do, there it is right there. The quarterback gave you plenty of it. But I can't wait, man. We're literally officially a month away. It's really July 30th, a month away.
Yeah, but I like the confidence. But let's be real. Game one is always a tough game, especially when you're going on the road, right? Yep. Normally these things don't happen unless you're playing in like the Chick-fil-A game, like South Carolina going down to Atlanta to take on Virginia Tech. Then you got LSU traveling here to South Carolina to take on the Clemson Tigers. Now you have Alabama, going to Tallahassee. And we know Tallahassee is a tough place to go play football, right? That's a tough place. They got great fans. They're loud. 2-10 last year. They had their troubles. But 2 years ago, this team did go undefeated in the regular season, and the quarterback gets hurt. That kind of killed their their chances of making that Final Four for a chance to win a national championship. So they got a lot of they're big in the transfer portal. That's how they're building their football team. They're going to be an interesting football team. But if you're Alabama, you definitely have to be cautious because you are on the road, and your team that also has a lot of different pieces to fill, aka vis-a-vis, let me throw it to you that way, the quarterback position, and you know that's not going to be a smooth transition in game one. So that calls a regional calls for pause, I should say sometimes. I do think Alabama's going to win the game. I do think it's going to be a dirty, close game because neither one of these teams is going to be who I think they have the potential to be as the season prolongs.
Hey, Kristen, who was it that Mac Jones opened up against, and how'd that game go? His first start.
I have no idea, man. I'll tell you right now. I'm not.
I like to remember that.
I'll pull it up. What year was that? 2020.
Yeah.
In 2020, his first game was against Missouri. It was against Missouri.
Okay. How'd that go?
We won 30. We won 38-19. So we won by 19 points. He was 18 of 24, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
Okay. Well, see, this quarterback don't have to be lights out. He just got to be able to not turn the ball over, not make mistakes. That's all we need. He don't have to win the game himself. He's got people around him.
You know, and I agree. I agree with you, but at the same time, I will say in order for that to be 100% the case, that means it's imperative that this running game will be well established and consistent and effective. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people say that and you hear that, but what are the keys to that being the case, right? You got to have, number one, you have to have a really good defense that keeps the other team from scoring a whole bunch of points. Number two, you got to be able to run the football effectively. And number three, you got to have the playmakers around you, which I would argue you got a good defense, you got the playmakers around you, but the biggest question mark here is, can we get a consistent and effective running game? And we hadn't seen that yet, and I hope we get back to it. I think we can too, Bryce, but I also know that we have for the last 3 years said that every year, okay, this is the year we're going to get that running game back going. We got the running backs. We got Justice Haynes. We got Jam Miller. We got the best running back room. We got an offensive line that's averaging 330 pounds plus. I remember all those conversations, and then I feel like we saw the furthest thing from what we were expecting. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just waiting and seeing, but I agree for the most part. You know, you don't necessarily need Ty to be a superhero or whoever wins the job, but you still are going to need to rely on those other factors. But also, there are going to be moments where we know in college football, you're going to get into some shootouts. He's going to have to be able to step up in those big moments, which, you know, I'm confident he should be able to, or whoever is in that spot.
Hey, and another thing, Christian, why did this quarterback wind up at Florida State? You know why?
You talking about the one that got benched?
No, you're talking about Castellanos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got benched at Boston College, right?
Oh,
he got beat out. Then he went to Florida State. And then he was talking all that noise and they did nothing. You know,
hold on. Bryce, he did have a couple of good years. I mean, he was decent. I've seen him play numerous times because, you know, we get a lot of ACC coverage up here. So he is a decent quarterback, undersized, but he is a dual threat guy that can run, and he can hurt you. But are you afraid of him just beating you throwing the football? No. But he is a typical guy that can, you know, do it with his legs. But listen, he just running, you know, popping his chops, as they say. He's popping his chops against a team that went 2-10 last year. If I'm an edge rusher, a linebacker, a D-line, secondary guy, wolf, whatever they call him, I am popping my chops on that Saturday. I'm telling you right now, he wouldn't make it through the game if it was me playing, because all that noise he talking, he must pay the piper. He must pay the piper. Yeah.
He might be. Bryce, we appreciate you, man. We're going to take this time out so we can go ahead and get this Kalen DeBoer interview loaded up. That being said, don't go anywhere. We got head coach Kalen DeBoer speaking to the media. We come back after this quick timeout right here. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. But real quick, let me remind you about our friends over at R&R Cigars while I'm thinking about it. He's got his little tobacco thing there going. 2703 Gary Fitz Street is where you can find them here in Tuscaloosa. They got the big mansion. You can't miss it. Football season's back. If you're looking for a place to go watch games, get the best cigars in the Southeast, they got the best humidor there. You got to check out R&R Cigars, where you can go to their website, rnrcigars.com, and you can get 20% off by using that code Miller's Edge. That is for you guys, for our listeners. Make sure you take advantage of it. Get those big discounts there. Again, rnrcigars.com. That is R&R Cigars, the official cigar provider of Alabama football since 2014.
Well, I'm at my favorite cigar shop here at home. R&R is my favorite for sure. Overall, they're my favorite. But back home, I'm at Smoke Break. That's where we're doing the show live. So we give them a shout out. Get them a nice little new pipe too. That's what we do.
There you go. There you go for our Carolina listeners. All right, quick timeout. We'll be right back.
This is Brian Finnison, owner of the venue Tuscaloosa.
All right, let's see. So we'll probably have to cut his interview short, but no worries. We'll get it on here. Pull this up.
Don't stop your feet going in. Hey, if I end up like this, my feet are dead. I'm driving the car off the hill. Stop doing it. Better! Better! It can be better. You got. Hey, I think about this beat on the attack. You're doing it still. Backside of this zone right now. All I want you guys working is kind of a hard stuff. I want to bend this side over.
All right. I feel like we've heard plenty from or seen plenty of that practice tape, but I'll get this potted up. But anyway, again, appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. If you haven't already, man, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be bringing this content to you every day, Monday through Friday. You guys know the drill. Plus, we got plenty of interviews lined up. We'll get some more players, like we have Bray on here, have some more coaches. I talked with Courtney Morgan today at practice. He said he's glad to jump on here next week sometime. Okay. Yeah. Yes, and he said he wants
the GM.
Yeah, he said he wants to hop on, like he said if we do video or whatever. So, he'll probably either be on the stream. I know he mentioned coming to the studio, but that way we can get the stream going. I'll probably just tell him to hop on the stream, but be on the lookout for that. And it's very respectful. And he was just saying he probably don't want everything to seem like it's all him. You know what I mean? And I told him, like, don't worry about that, brother. We'll make sure we give everybody their credit, which I respect that about him.
It's about the Benjamins, man. It's about the Benjamins.
That's right. All right, good deal. Yep, so that's what we'll do. Appreciate that, Chase. Yep, so we'll come back. We'll play the Coach DeBoer clip, and we'll just let that kind of close things out. So if you guys still got some questions, some other stuff, don't worry. We'll be back here again tomorrow, 11 to 1. and be breaking it down all over again. I got to see the practice schedule for tomorrow. I'll pull it up. But anyway.
Now let me know if you want to stay out there and be live stream.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep you posted. I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to do that, that's cool. Today was, I mean, I was out there to about 10:40, and then ended up leaving. We got a question from T. Smitty real quick before we come back. Hold on.
RVs and
what is up with the Drew Aller hype? Due to stunk versus good competition. I think he's a good player.
the options and more. Many with low or
I think he's solid, honestly.
The
at Alabama campers.
Hmm.
Spurs.com.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Day one officially in the books. Alabama football took to the practice field this morning, got their practice out of the way, and now they're probably in the weight room, getting ready to meet a little bit, get some lunch. Definitely got to refuel your body and all that good stuff. But Coach DeBoer did speak. So let's go ahead and hear what Kalen DeBoer had to say regarding his first practice of the 2025 training camp.
It was in January when they brought the intensity, and early on you could tell these guys were determined, and that's been the challenge to them. Question I keep asking them and ask them again, and it's the season, it's a practice, it's a play, it's sustaining the intensity at the level from start. But good day and open for questions.
How Deontay look getting back on the field and playing that brace, but how do you look?
Yeah. He's his trajectory is going up. Deontay, his leadership is the thing I think that's really come out. So that's exciting. He is going to be limited, and just the number of reps, the volume, I guess the best way to put it, and what he can take as expected. And that was going to be the plan, just with his timeline from the beginning. But it's great having him out there. I think he feels really good about being out there, mentally and physically. I think he's in a really good spot. But there's still progress to be made as we build for the first game.
Stand on the brace topic. Can you talk about Jalen Hale's progress?
Yeah, just Jalen Hale and, where he was at a year ago with the injury actually in the spring in 2024. Just, pretty significant injury at the time. And, between he and then our medical staff just doing an awesome job of pushing forward. Our whole team is proud of him, not just me. We've talked about that in the winter, during December. I remember addressing it with the team, guys being excited about having him out there, finally doing something with the team. And then, the spring was the next step, and through the summer and him out there. But, there's reps that he hasn't taken, banked reps that other guys have. And so, he's still learning as we go. And, every rep he's going to get more and more confident, but he's certainly got a lot of tools and, want to see his growth. Excited about that this fall.
After the first day, is there a certain position group that maybe surprised you today?
Surprise. It's hard because we're literally in spider pads and helmets, and so from a physicality standpoint and things like that, there's limitations on what you can see and do. But I think as expected, I thought, I think our defensive backfield is, but that's expected. And so, I thought it was just good back and forth as it should. I feel like we got for the most part, a balanced team. And so it didn't feel like one position completely dominated another, or one was, getting dominated. So I thought it was a good balance across the board as a team.
Can you break down each of the quarterbacks and what you saw out there?
Yeah, I think they've all taken steps through the summer, and you can see they are definitely more comfortable with the install. I a lot of it's the reps they get with the play concepts they have, but the footwork and just the confidence with that. And, some of the new things that we've added in. So Ty and Austin, those things are still new this spring. And, they've now become very comfortable with, it's subtle stuff, but, probably Keelan's going to be the one that, you're going to see the biggest jump naturally. And, I feel like that was good. I mean, he's making quick decisions and not sitting there thinking too much. But I felt all of them did. I think Ty, we talked about all the quarterbacks, but, just the gimme, the ones that are just should be 100% making those plays all the time. And I really felt like, he did that. He got probably more opportunities just because of the way the plays developed to have more of those gimmies, and those gimmies add up. Gimmies are 5-yard gains that turn into 15 and 20 and sometimes explosives, and they keep the chains moving. So I like the mindset of our quarterbacks, because when you can trust your quarterback to go through his progression and be okay with checking it down and not forcing something, you can call, as a play caller, a lot more balls down the field and know that it's not just going to be an incomplete pass or an explosive play. There's going to be a progression, and it's going to be some type of movement down the field. It's going to put you in manageable down and distances, whether it's second, third, or fourth.
Piggybacking off of that, do you change the way you approach rep distribution with the quarterbacks, knowing it's a different timeline than it was in the spring?
We'll start out pretty consistent with probably how we finished the spring. And again, Keelan's reps continue to build up from what it was in spring, where he was primarily with, the 3s and 4s. But here early on, you're just installing, and you're trying to give each quarterback, along with each other position and player, the reps of the install. And then, once you get past that first kind of round of installs, then you really start kind of probably dialing it in at that time. But we'll play it by ear as we go. Because, if someone separates themselves, 1-2 guys, then you do make adjustments along the way.
Is all the experience that you've got coming back on defense, and I realize it's just one practice, but does it show up pretty quick?
Yes, there is definitely the veterans and then the younger guys, and the veterans, it starts with communication and the confidence with that communication, and guys in sync, right? Knowing the space that they got to cover between 2 guys in the secondary or the back half. And you can just see the gelling of that. And they're really, I can't really think of anything where it felt like there was a missed assignment, or something that was blown, really all day. And our offense does a lot of stuff to put a lot of pressure on you to communicate, to have to see motions and shifting and things like that. So, from where we were at a year ago, or even end of the season, you can see the banked reps that we've taken adding up. And then, the physical piece will continue to happen as we put on the pads and add that part to it.
First year or two, no transfers. Did it feel like today, all right, we've got some continuity compared to what you saw last year?
So what was the first part?
No transfers, just getting guys back in your system, a little bit more familiarity. Did you kind of feel that continuity today, even day one?
Yeah, I mean, it's just even the logistics of how you practice, and the transitions and where guys go. The flow is just on another level.
Exactly what I was talking about.
It's even going to be much better than it was at the end of the fall because you still had the spring, and so just locations on the field and who you're going to and those drills, and now it isn't just those drills you're learning. You're learning the details and the details and how they apply to the play, and you're not just doing that drill on its own and it's isolated. It's how it's going to affect you when you're in this situation, maybe 5-10 times throughout the season, but you can apply it because we've shown it, and now they remember and they've processed it, and now they can go operate and execute.
Where's the tight end shirt, Matt, health-wise?
It will continue to get better and better. It's in a good spot. This was going to be how it was when the injuries happened. Cuevas is going to continue to add volume. I think that's the best word to use because he's practicing. Danny Lewis, the same thing. They're adding volume. the number of reps from start to finish. It's not just team, it's not just individual, but they've had a really good summer, and their progress is as we had hoped, as we expected. And the rest of the guys, Marshall, I know didn't practice at the end of the spring with what he had. A couple other guys too, they're all full go. We got more tight ends out there now all of a sudden than we could have ever imagined, but they all, competing and working together, doing a good job.
Coach, Travis Hunter was a big story last year, of course, being a full-time two-way player. I was wondering if you'd ever had, or do you have players that, not full-time, but spot duty on the other side for emergencies or something, or too many disadvantages?
Yeah, no, I mean, when you have someone that can really fit into a goal line package and be the extra tight end and maybe take a defensive end or a defensive lineman and add him, to a personnel grouping, we'll certainly be open to that. Or if there's, a specific guy that has just a skill that, we don't have. But I think for the most part, each side of the ball has what they need. If they wanted to do something special, we have that on that side of the ball. And there isn't someone that is so much better going both ways like that situation to where we feel the need to do that at this point.
All right, so that'll do it for that press conference, for us at least, because we do have to get off the air and make room for T-Town Sports Daily that's coming up next. But you guys want to stay locked and loaded. You got that coming up. I'm sure Wyatt will play some more of that interview, plus give his thoughts from day one. But appreciate everybody hanging out with us on the stream, on radio, on Facebook, all that good stuff, man. Had a great show today. Thanks to everybody and their contributions. Look forward to doing it with you guys again tomorrow in 22 hours right here, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. This has been the Miller's Edge presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. See you guys then.